Right, not too far away from a race start. This will be a good one. 27 cars on the grid, over 16,000 horsepower by Jamie's calculator.
So bring it on, Hampton Downs. 15 seconds to go.
One of the best classes we've got in New Zealand motorsport. We love our tin tops and we love our V8s, the big bangers as they've become to know over so many years. Sean Fowler, first car away, will be the first one off the grid. And you can see that traditional New Zealand flag start. Then we've got Bruce Kettaway in the Rod Coppins replica Camaro.
The orange two-door XA coming down through Pirelli corner now.
That's Greg Holden from memory. Holden driving a Ford.
And the Brock lookalike also sitting there ready to go too.
Andrew Turner alongside Lance Midgley. Another one of the many Midgley family races out there.
And doesn't that take you back to the traditional Brock versus Johnson rivalry at Mount Panorama?
Paul Bowden away, yep. Then we get into the quicker boys. Angus Fogg leading Clark Hopkins, Stevie Neuer in one of the class front running 2 cars. And we've got the 777 of Ross Graham in there as well. So they've got a little bit more work to do. And here's Wigston. He's away in the world's fastest HQ.
Yeah, it doesn't quite look right. Looks like it should have a yellow cap or a taxi sign on top of it, doesn't it, the HQ? It doesn't quite fit in there with the Camaros.
Or a police siren.
And everything else.
It probably started life as one of those. Dean Perkins' Falcon did. Here goes Grant Dalton, Greg Honor, and Dean Hanson, who's been impressive this weekend, actually polled in the wet conditions in the second of the HQs. And here's the quick boys. Bruce Anderson, John Midgley, and Dean Perkins, last cars away, and they'll be giving up probably the better part of a good half a lap or so on the rest of the field. And we've got that beautiful Barracuda at the tail of the field. I don't think that car started the first race.
So this round of the Central Muscle Car Series, Jamie?
This is, I believe, the opening round of their championship. Dean Perkins, from memory, is the defending series champion. Little brake lock up there, and there might have been some contact between Anderson and Midgley. They're both very, very wide, and Perkins nearly cleaned up the right front corner of the Anderson Mustang on the way past.
Yeah, the rear end just stepped out, and then they touched each other. And get off the dry line. It's obviously very greasy and very slippery out there.
Yeah, while it is drying, they are on the dry tyre. You don't want to get off the racing line because there is still a little bit of moisture out there, and probably a lot of dirt and debris as well from stuff getting dragged around the racetrack over the last sort of 24 hours where we've had a lot of rain, and I mean a lot of rain here at Hampton Downs.
Car 19, obviously a big Glenn Seaton fan with a massive big Ford logo, reminiscent of Seaton racing down the side of his car too. The Chickadee lookalike car.
Whoa, Anderson's, he's living right on the edge because he's rotated this time completely in the 169 Anderson and O'Leary Ford Mustang, and that was Greg running off, just left right of shot in the Commodore that started off the front row of the grid, parked on the grass. Check out the Cuda. That is a beautiful looking car.
Big car. Now he's got it all to do in car 169, the sensational orange Mustang.
So Bruce Anderson has been, as I said, living a little bit dangerously in the opening laps. He's got the headlights on, but he's got a lot of ground to make up on the quicker boys. So there's Greg Runnings. He's already rotated in the red Commodore. Okay, Lance Midgley's gone around in the 360 as well. It was a 180 for the 360. And, Bruce Anderson was never, ever going to make that transition off the new racetrack onto the old part of the circuit.
He lit up the rears and did a good job not to back onto the grass.
Well, it's not hard to light up the rears on that car when it's over 800 horsepower. And here's the rearward shot.
What a great shot. Look at that. Keeps the boot into it.
That would have been on the rev limiter. The iconic orange car. The Andersons known for their orange livery over many, many years. Contested Bathurst. Dick Johnson raced with the team here in New Zealand in the past as well in the Mustangs. And a safety car has been dispatched. And I would say that will be to retrieve the number 55 machine of Greg Running in the red VK that had rotated earlier on. So the Lexus safety car out on the racetrack. This is going to help the boys at the rear because it's going to close up the field when they get back underway. Welcome back to Hampton Downs, looking ready to go back racing here with the resumption of the second race of the weekend for the NZ Central Muscle Cars, looking for the safety car lights to go out, which they do right now.
Right on cue, well done.
This is going to help the quick boys at the back, closing out the field with a couple of spins and the subsequent retrievals. So there'll be a few smiles in the dials further back, not so much up the front.
We'll give you the top 10. Bruce Kent from Cam Crawford, Shane Johnson, Sean Fowler, Andrew Turner, Angus Fogg in the top 6 in the brand new Mustang. Tony Galbraith, Clark Hopkins, Ross Graham and Paul Bowden rounding out the 10.
All right, looking to go green here, and it will be Bruce Kent leading the way in the beautiful little Coppins replica Chevy Camaro running in Class 2. My pick, keep an eye on the Charger about position number 7. with Tony Galbraith. He'll be in a pretty good position here with 4 laps left to go to the end of this race.
Just love that big Falcon, that big XA. Of course, won Bathurst in 1973 with Ian Gagan and the great Alan Moffat. Backed it up in 74 with Kevin Bartlett and John Goss taking the win. So now bringing huge money, those cars, pretty much in New Zealand and Australia.
Oh, big lock up there from the right front for Bruce Kidd. He's struggling to get it stopped. Oh, Foggy's trying to back it in down into turn 2. Now, I think there might have been a little bit of contact.
Shane
There's
Johnson
nothing on the right rear. He might have just got a little bit of a fright with Foggy having a look down the inside.
And he's there to stay. He's not coming out of there.
He has pirouetted the number 65 Mustang, and we have a new race leader, and it's Foggy. It's Angus Fogg. Now, he's been struggling with power steering issues all weekend. They may have got it sorted, or Angus is going to look like Popeye by the end of this race, but this car is on debut this weekend. Shane Wixton's made a lot of progress through the field, looking to the outside of Clark Hopkins and Andrew Turner and the beautiful Falcon Coupe of Cam Crawford.
Hang on, around the outside on a greasy track.
Only Shane Wixton will attempt that because he does have some just unnormal car control. He throws that big HQ around and just shouldn't do the things that it's capable of doing. So Foggy's got the race lead here in that beautiful new Mustang.
He had 2 or 3 goes at trying to turn into the corner there too, so he's still struggling with some handling issues, but
he was
plenty
a little
of
bit
power.
wide, a little bit wide off the exit too. He ran the car right over the centre of the ripple strip. Wixton's up to 2nd. Now, he started probably about the 5th to last car. Here's Tony Galbraith coming through. He's shadowing Clark Hopkins and Andrew Turner as well to the inside, and the Brock replica down the inside of Cam Crawford.
Look at that HQ go. What's that powered by, Jamie?
That's got NASCAR power under the hood, but it's a little bit bigger than most. Most of the typical NASCAR power plants are 358 cubic inches. That's over 400 cubic inches, so it's an Uber NASCAR engine, well over 800 horsepower, and the Tin Man, as he's nicknamed, can definitely hustle the heck out of one of these race cars. But look what's out in front. This show car of Angus Fogg, the Angus Fogg Racing J.A. Russell Mustang, on debut this weekend.
Fantastic. 1970 body shell. As you say, NASCAR engine, all NASCAR running gear effectively in that car. And driven by a guy that's pretty handy too behind the wheel.
Yeah, the boys bought wasn't a brand new, but they bought a Ford Fusion NASCAR, and all the running gear is in that car. And yeah, I think that's my favourite shape Mustang. Bruce Kett holding on to 3rd, holding off Clark Hopkins in that beautiful Tirana, another beautiful car. For the Mopar fans, it's Tony Galbraith in the Charger, another NASCAR power plant underneath the hood of that very, very pretty race car.
So Fogg from Wigston, then Bruce Kett in P3, car 41. Hopkins still in the top 4. Galbraith, Turner, Graham, Crawford. Steve Scholes has moved into the top 9 from Greg Honor.
Yeah, Greg Honor's just working his way through some of that smaller class traffic as well. So race 1 winner. He's on a bit of a mission here in the 2nd of the Orange Mustang. Bruce Anderson's been in the wars. He's just back there and shot behind Grant Dalton, the boss of the New Zealand America's Cup team, of course. Loves his motor racing, does a bit of motorcycle racing as well on the Isle of Man. You've got to be pretty brave to do that. It's Angus Fogg. Just check that car out. It's too pretty to race.
Had good lap time too, 146.3 last time around. So he's a bit more than a second over the rest of the field at the moment.
Well, he is the quickest car on track. So, I mean, the early signs for that brand new race car are daunting for the rest of this field. Yeah, Dean Perkins and Greg Honor, those two have traded a little bit of paint over the years. 2 of the quickest cars in the Central Muscle Cars lineup. Mustang versus Falcon. The Falcon started life as a traffic cop car, and it's been in Dean Perkins' family, I think, for more time than most of his family.
Down through Pirelli curve now, 2 laps to go. What's powering the Charger? Is that a V8 too?
Yeah, Mopar power plant. That is a NASCAR engine, another 358 cubic. Dean Perkins and Greg Honor side by side through turn 1, which on the approach is blind. So Perkins is on a mission here. He's gone by Clark Hopkins. Foggy's still your race leader. A 142.4 for Shane Wixton's just done the fastest lap of the race, so he's on the chase. Oh, Dean Perkins just off the apex. A big puddle of water just unsettled the car. So Wixton with a 2.3 second deficit to try and chase down Angus Fogg, who's trying to win this second race in the car's second ever race. How sideways is Dean Perkins?
And you can see once they get off line 2, being slick tyres on this greasy track and plenty of power to play with. Now they're side by side again. The Falcon down the inside of the Charger.
Yeah, I think Tony gave him a little bit of room there. He saw it coming as Greg Honor got a big sideways moment. That would have been a handful of opposite lock in the 429 Ford Mustang.
And is 429 the cubic inches?
No, it's not that big. It's not that big. That car started life basically as a supercar underneath the Mustang body, but you're not allowed to run that stuff in Central Muscle cars. Greg Honor, very, very capable racer, former series champion himself. There's John Mitchell in the background and behind Andrew Turner. Andrew Turner having a good run. There's Dean Hanson in the yellow HQ. Last lap board is out. Angus Fogg, there's the gap first to second. Shane Wigston, 42.7 from Foggy, a 42.4 from Wigston. So the black and gold Mustang has definitely got some express pace. If Angus has got the power steering, oh, Andrew Turner in the fence.
Oh, yes, that's
Andrew Turner in the fence on the last lap, and he was inside the top 6 or 7 as well. Into third goes Dee Perkins. Battle for fourth between Greg Honor and, for the Mopar fans, Tony Galbraith, former New Zealand modified champ. Spent a lot of seasons on the dirt speedways around New Zealand. John Mitchell looking to go down the inside here of Clark Hopkins. Well, this race has just lit up in the last couple of minutes.
I don't think we can do it, though. Oh, here we are.
Oh, out of the final corner, and it slid a long way. And there's the contact with the tyre bundle. That's better than concrete, but yeah, still not a good thing to hit. A little bit of work for that team to do overnight. Preparation for the second day in races 3 and 4 for the weekend. Greg Honor is trying very, very hard to get to Tony Galbraith. Shane Wigston continuing to chase down Angus Fogg. What a dream debut this might be if Foggy can hold on to it. And if it hasn't got power steering, he's my new hero.
Great colour too, isn't it? That vitamin C, I think they call it, that charger colour.
Wigston's actually lost ground. Foggy looking to win on debut the second ever race for this brand new race car, the J.A. Russell sponsored Mount Shop Mustang. A car I reckon is too pretty to race, but early signs, as I said, looking pretty ominous for the rest of the field as Angus Fogg is going to take the win in race number 2.
I think he's raised the bar for everybody. Look how well the car sits on the track though. Like, it's just beautiful, beautiful to watch.
And a 42.8 on the last lap. Shane Wigston didn't give up trying, a 43.9. Lost a little bit of time in the last lap. Might have lost a little bit of time over the backside of the circuit that we didn't see, but look at the gap back to second. But put your hands together for Angus Fogg. There will be a huge smile underneath the helmet of one of the characters of New Zealand motorsport. Third, Dean Perkins. Fourth, Tony Galbraith held off Greg Honor for that fourth position, with John Mitchell completing the top 6.